To do the assembly drawing for our bench project, we have to first create a brand new assembly file, which is noted by a .iam. You select that, press create, and your assembly file will open. Unlike part drawings, you're not going to be drawing anything new. You're just going to be putting parts together. That means you have to bring parts into the assembly drawing. As it loads, I guess we need to wait on it. First thing we need to do in an assembly drawing is note the tool on the upper left-hand corner. It's called Place. That's where we're going to place all of our components. We find the bench project, and I believe I'm working with CAD Mod 2 right now. So I'm going to get out of CAD Mod 8, go to CAD Mod 2, Bench. I just downloaded all these files. First one I will bring in is my leg. The leg comes in, I open it up. It's just floating around screen. One left click and it places it somewhere in the drawing window, and I can place others. For now, I don't want to, so I press escape. My next operation is this. I'm going to rotate my view cube around until it is vertical. Another little tip and trick, I want this to be my default home view. I go over to the little house on the view cube, I right click, set current view as home, and I fit to view. So no matter what I do from here, if I have the part like this, hit my home view, it goes back to an orientation that I want it to be in. Next up, this is a little bit confusing because the object is black in color, so I may elect to do two things. I may make it transparent, and the first part that you bring into an assembly, you always ground the part. So I'm right-clicking on the part in the model browser, and I select grounded. That means this can no longer move on the X, Y, or Z. It's completely fastened in place. The next part I want to bring in will be my 1-inch supports. Open it up. I bring in one instance of it. I can even bring in two if I want. Again, let's make them transparent. And now start the assembly process. These things are totally free floating. This thing is completely grounded. To make this fasten to this, I always use the Constraint tool. In this dialog box, you're always going to use for this tutorial the mate type of constraint. So everything up here, you don't change. The only thing you may toggle and change is the solution, which are called mates or flush. Let's take a look at how each of them work right now. If I want to put this bar in place, I need to flush, let's say, one surface here. I select a surface to the very top of that leg. I make it flush, I apply, and I can take a look at what it has done. It can no longer move up and down. It is completely flush with that surface. The next constraint I can put in place, constrain, mate type once again, flush solution, I can flush this with this. It's just two flat surfaces. Now in this case, I want this 1-inch bar to be centered on the 1.5-inch bar, so I'm going to put in a slight offset of 0.25. You'll see how it toggled inward a little bit. I apply, and let's take a look at what this has done. So now the only thing this can do, it can only move in this direction. My final constraint that I'm going to be putting in place will be a mate constraint. And it's going to be a mate constraint between here and, I'll have to use my view cube, and to here. That final mate constraint forces, after application, forces it to be completely constrained to one another. I cannot move this, and I cannot move this. So that's video 1 for assemblies.